Band have worn the uniform of the British Grenadier. But now school officials would like to change that. But the proposed uniform change become an emotional issue there. Last night, the school board held a hearing on the proposed change to a blue and white uniform. Supporters say the change is a good idea.
When I took over the position, I believe that its uniform should present the school's image in every way possible. And certainly this is not the case at Statesville High School. It is time for a change to these colors. I believe that renewed pride in the band would come from such a change. I believe that a rejuvenated interest in staying in the band would stem from this change. And I believe that a school spirit revival would be kindled by this change.
Williams says he feels so strongly about the change that he may leave if the school board doesn't spend the $30,000 for new uniforms, but opponents feel there's no need to change tradition.
Change in uniforms will not improve the ability of the band. We may have been on a decline in the past few years, but a new style of uniforms won't change that. Only pride, spirit, and respect for yourself and what you represent will change that.
Opponents presented the board with a petition with more than 1,300 names objecting to a uniform change. Board members have voted to delay any decision until December 8th. Turning now to sports, left.
The clothes just might make the band.
When school officials suggested going to blue and gray uniforms to match Statesville school colors, they learned that changing colors may be one thing, but tinkering with tradition is quite another.
The Statesville High School Greyhound Grenadier Band has been a part of Statesville for 25 years.
Marissa Nichols was a Grenadier for 3 of those, when she proudly wore the uniform that looks more at home at Buckingham Palace, perhaps, than on a high school football field. But Grenadier alums say that's what made their band special. And the Scottish red and black may be part of the reason they played for a president and won a national championship 6 years ago. And they don't want that tradition to change.
I had hoped that my daughter could someday be a member of the Grenadier Band. Now, if they would change it, she cannot be.
But school officials seem determined to make the switch anyway. While the principal and band director would not talk to us about it today, they have pushed the new uniforms in the past. And their biggest advantage is that they appear to have most of the students and band members on their side.
We've been Grenadiers for 50 years, and it's time for a change. And everybody wants a new suit, or at least about 75 or 80% of them do.
Finally, the people who will make that decision, the school board members, say they will issue a statement at tonight's meeting. They say they've made up their minds, and it's a decision both sides can live with. But that may also prove easier said than done. In Statesville, Mark Becker, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Of theft or vandalism at the Mint Museum.
The debate over changing the high school band uniforms in Statesville ended with a surprise announcement tonight. Band director Bob Williams wanted a new blue and white uniform to replace the traditional Grenadier uniform. A decision was due tonight. Instead, the board announced a change in band leadership.
Since our last board meeting, Mr. Williams has requested in writing a reassignment from Statesville High School for the 1987-88 school term. Based on this information, the board has determined that this is not the appropriate time to make a change in the uniform worn by the band members at Statesville High School.
Williams' request for a reassignment was accompanied by a letter from his doctor advising the change for health reasons. Williams had been under sharp attack from those opposing a change in the uniform. His supporters say the pressure affected his health. Although the proposal has been set aside, board members say they'll consider making a change in uniforms if requested by a new band director.
And